Well, joining us now via Zoom is Brigadier General Amir Avivi, founder and CEO of the Israel Defense and Security Forum. General, operating at Khan Yunis, the IDF located and returned the bodies of 5 Israelis murdered October 7th, and their bodies had been taken to Gaza. What's involved in such an operation? Does it start with intelligence?
So yes, it definitely starts with intelligence, and mostly human intelligence. The IDF has arrested thousands of Hamas terrorists, and they've been interrogated. And through these interrogations and also findings on the ground, the Shin Bet and the army are able to create the relevant intelligence that enables to really do this kind of operation and retrieve the bodies of soldiers and citizens that have been murdered brutally on the 7th of October. It's not the first operation we see. We have seen also, of course, the rescue of live hostages. And the more the IDF will control the area, the more intelligence will come, and we'll have more opportunities to conduct operations like that.
Well, we seem to control most of the area already. Noa Argamoni was freed in a dramatic rescue operation. The Prime Minister even brought her with him to the address last night in Congress. But precious few have been rescued alive. Many more returned in the first exchange deal with Hamas. Isn't there more chance at this point of returning live hostages and bodies through an exchange agreement?
Well, it completely depends on Hamas, unlike really the kind of propaganda that we see trying to say that Israel is the problem. Israel is not the problem. Israel has set very, very clear red lines, what they can agree to and what not. And the issue is, how do you get Hamas to be pressured enough to agree to a deal? And if Hamas is not agreeing to a deal, it means we haven't pressured enough. We need to expand the operation. We need to attack firstly in Rafah, in Khan Yunis, until we get Sinwar to really a situation where he feels pressured enough that he's willing to have a ceasefire that will let him, organize, and with this ceasefire, release as many hostages as possible.
Well, General, we get mixed signals because we hear Gallant, the defense minister, saying quite clearly that the time is right for an exchange deal. We hear heads of the security establishment saying the same. The IDF says that only 116 hostages now remain in Gaza, both living and dead. To the best of your knowledge, how many remain alive?
Well, we don't know exact numbers, but we assume that maybe half are alive and not more. And yes, we need to try and rescue them as soon as possible and have a deal, but this deal cannot be a deal that endangers the whole society, Israel, the South, and therefore this deal cannot include leaving Philadelphia. And by the way, if you have a deal where the IDF pulls out of Philadelphia and there is a ceasefire, and we get only part of the hostages, we might find dozens of hostages that will be moved from Gaza to Iran. This is not a reality we can agree to. So even looking at only the hostages, looking at their interests, we need to look at the interest of the whole group and not just part of the hostages, and therefore retreating from Philadelphia, it's not an option.
Hostages potentially moved to Iran. We're going to have to leave it with that. General, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much.